I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Chargers win by a 9-point margin. The Patriots lost this one, but will stay at number 3 in the AFC East. Weaver stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Redskins win their 9th game of the year. Larry Fitzgerald pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Cardinals beat the Rams. Way up in the northern plains in Minnesota, we had the Vikings lose by 6 points. Steelers, Titans. Smith is set to get the kick at his own 15. Juggles just a moment. Jumps outside, gets a block downfield by the midfield stripe, and you know he's got jets. He could go all the way, 85 yards. The Steelers win this one by the final score of 31-24. Over at Arrowhead Stadium, we had the Chiefs come away with a 7-point win. The Saints got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at New Orleans. The Giants lost at home and will stay home for next week's game when they meet the Redskins. The Falcons won this contest but will stay at the second place in the NFC South. Bishop stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for it. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Murray is on the move as he gets a contract for what can only be referred to as crazy money. 6 years, $4.2 million.
Dolphins, Bengals. Chad Hutchinson surveys the defense at the 25. Extra receiver is split out. That's the tight end. Even though he's got double coverage, heads to the corner, touchdown. What a throw. The Dolphins win this one by the final score of 35-28. Number 83 had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Colts beat the Seahawks. By the warm waters of Tampa Bay, we had the Buccaneers narrowly coming out on top by 5. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Harris will be on the sidelines for a while, so this defense will need to do some reshuffling in his absence. X-rays after the game revealed it is indeed a broken leg, so he'll likely be out for the rest of the season. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own mash unit. Sutton won't see action for a while, so this offense is going to have to make do without him. A broken shoulder will keep him out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. This guy is done for the year, as he'll watch the rest of the season from the sidelines, and they'll be scrambling now to find someone that can fill his shoes. Now we'll move on to our top story of the day. Howell is going to find himself in street clothes for the time being, and that'll be a major blow to this club. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
And in our final game, we had the Broncos come away victorious.
All right, Chris, thanks. Just 2 weeks to go until the playoffs arrive, and just as we do every year, we're looking at a number of interesting races as teams jockey for position. We'll start it out in the AFC. And now, checking things out over in the NFC playoff race. So that's how things shape up. Still plenty of intriguing matchups upcoming as we get closer and closer to January. So that'll do it from here. Boomer, we send it back over to you.
So with just 2 weeks to go now, still plenty to be decided before January rolls around. First, primetime players' game balls go out to these men, each helping their team down the stretch. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.